Just about every company that we walk into, one of the biggest challenges they face is getting correct attribute or parameter data applied to Creo objects and in turn pushed to Windchill. Parameter values are either incomplete, not uniform, and because of Creo and Windchill functionality, some values are applied in Creo and others in Windchill. For example, cascading attributes were a big enhancement in 11.1, but are non-existent in Creo. This is where Genius Tools Parameter comes in. It extends Creo, giving users a simple interface that allows for editing of parameters according to administratively defined rules. Genius Tools Parameter connects to Windchill and ERP systems. We can have regulated fields, intelligent names, cascading parameters, restricted value lists, and even language translation. I'm going to show you two different scenarios. One, a Creo part has all of the same parameters that Genius Tools Parameter does, and we're going to fill out those values. Two, no parameters exist on the Creo part, and Genius Tools Parameters will not only fill out the values, but also adds those parameters to the part. Let's see Genius Tools Parameters work. In the first scenario, we are going to fill out parameters that already exist within this part. Notice how all the parameters are there. Some of them have a little bit of information filled out, but most of them don't. Let's use Genius Tools Parameter to fill out the rest of the parameters. In Genius Tools Parameter, the first thing that you're going to notice is our mandatory fields. When I fill out information, the way that they are applied to the part, I hit the Save button and they apply. But notice how my mandatory fields are not filled out, and so as soon as I hit Save, it says, hey, you can't move on because you haven't filled out the mandatory fields. All right, let's go ahead and fill them out. In my title field, I have restricted the values to only 5 characters. In my customer field, I have a drop-down list. I pick a specific customer. Notice how because I pick this specific customer, see how order code and project code have a predetermined number. Facility country, here's my cascading concept. In the United States, specific state. Notice how because I pick Texas, I get Austin or Dallas or Houston. If I go back and change my facility to Georgia, notice how facility gets a warning that says you must change it to actually meet something or somewhere in Georgia. Because of the United States, Georgia, and Athens, I actually get a facility code. Category, we're going to buy this object, and we're going to get it from Bassett. I'm going to have a coding of paint. Let's also select a specific material. Aluminum. And what we'll do is we hit the Save button. We see green. Could have hit Save and Close. Now, if we go to all of our parameters, you will see all of them have been filled out from Genius Tools Parameter. Let's look at this in a little different way, the second scenario. In this case, we're going to have a new part, but we're going to make sure this part is totally empty. Empty. As you'll see, no parameters exist. And in this scenario, we'll do the exact same thing. Genius Tools Parameter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See how I can't fill it out? We'll go with Raytheon this time. United States. We'll say Nebraska. Lincoln. Have my facility code. This time we're going to make it. Probably should have put in a different supplier, like my own company, but that's okay. Notice how mass is actually not a required field because that comes when we have geometry. And in this case, we'll just pick a random material just to fill it out. Save and close. Tools parameters. Notice how not only does it fill out the values, but also it adds the parameters to the part. Let's take a quick look at actually how we admin Genius Tools parameters. Our parameter editor. And what you see here is pretty simple stuff. I have a description. I actually want to call it title. I have mandatory. There's my mandatory field and my maximum character length. Some of the other ideas that you'll see here. I have a customer with a customer list. This actually comes from a CSV file. We also can do this from a SQLite database. My country, facility country, facility state is actually filtered from facility country. Same thing with facility. Notice how I just kind of cascade down. Order code. Where do we get that order code, the automated number for the order code? If I go back up to customer, I actually have a small JavaScript that says when it is Felco, put the order code at 10-, or when you select Alcon, put the order code at 13-. Pretty simple stuff. These are just some of the things that we can do in Genius Tools Parameter. Now, I don't have the language translation within this set of parameters, but I do have that in another example. Or what you'll see is I have a description that is in English version of the description and a German version of the description. Very nice when you have facilities that speak different languages. Hopefully you can see the value of Genius Tools Parameter. An easy to use interface for users, and it's easy to admin for administrators. If you would like to learn more information about Genius Tools Parameters or any of the other Genius Tools apps, please feel free to reach out at any time.